Hi guys. I'm sitting out here on my front porch. You'll probably see the only light around me is this lantern on the table. It's an 18th century lantern. We just had the most incredible sudden thunderstorm pass through here. And I just had this notion to just sit out on the front porch as it passed through. Some of the thunderclaps had me crawling out of my skin. I love thunderstorms, so I'm not the kind of person that hides under the bed. This one was high energy. The trees were swaying. The front door, which is over here to my right, was slamming open and closed. We have a glass door in front of the wooden door, so that door was just kind of on its own. 3 times it just slammed really shut and nearly had me coming out of my skin. As I was sitting here, I heard the neighbors got some trees that have come down in their front yard. I don't know if you can see them, but I've got the camera turned that way, and if the lightning would shine, then you'll get to see them. 2 big limbs off of a couple of his trees have landed in my driveway. So it's kind of a nice feeling out here now. It's like the calm after the storm. The lightning's not, I guess it's gone off into the distance now, but it's so quiet. And all the power's out as far as I can see everywhere in every direction. Just a little trickle of rain, water. I can hear like a frog or cricket very faintly, but I was hoping to get the camera actually in the middle of the intensity of the storm, but I was quite literally sitting here with my jaw open. Oh, there's some lightning. Darn, I missed it. Let me turn it around again just in case. Maybe you can see the driveway. But yeah, the trees were almost horizontal. The wind was pretty intense. I had shelter here under my front porch overhang, but I was still getting a little misted, and went in and got a little throw to put over my shoulders. My flip-flops are on and my little toes are cold at the moment. But there's a stillness now, with just that low rumbling of thunder in the distance. I love storms. I love storms. And we have a lot of intense storms just like this in this region that I live in. So I'll turn the camera back around so you can see me. I tell a story when I do a genealogy presentation about some of the records that I had found, original records, that backed up a story, excuse me, that backed up a story that someone had written on Ancestry.com about my mother's mother, so my second great-grandmother. Her name was Rachel Jane Baskin. She had several brothers and sisters, but one of the stories was that whenever the storms would come, she would go around the house and close all the shutters or the blinds and everything, and tell the kids to get like inside and into the house and under protection, you know. And they would ask her why is she so frightened of storms. Well, it turns out that she moved to Texas when I think it was Texas. Yeah, she moved to Texas when it was still Indian territory, and they would often have lopers, or that was the term, Lopers, lopers, running in front of their house, and Indian attacks nearby. And it was kind of like out in no man's land at the time. And she was cooking a pot of beans over the fire inside their house or cabin or whatever it was where they lived, and lightning struck the pot of beans, pushed them all the way across the floor, and the lightning hit a pair of hobnail boots that actually melted, except for the nails. So that was her first incident. And then her brother, one of her brothers, which this person said it was Uncle Simpson, who went by Simp. So Uncle Simp was killed when a storm passed through Texas in an area where he was working. And when the storm came through, he and a bunch of other guys jumped into the back of the truck, and he grabbed a pair of metal pliers to pull a tarp down over them, and lightning struck and he got killed. Well, in my genealogy presentation, I pull up all of the death records from the state of Texas for Rachel Jane's brothers, and the one for Uncle Simpson says that he died of myocardial infarction, which is a heart attack. But her other brother, whose name is Judge Allen, and his given name was actually Judge, he was not a judge by occupation, Judge Allen Baskin, which I found under J.A. Baskin, so just his first and middle initial, said accidentally struck by lightning. So there's that thunder again. So I guess you could say it kind of runs in the family that people are affected by storms. Hopefully, I was sitting here praying, oh, please don't let me get struck by lightning. I'm just wanting to experience this awesomeness of Mother Nature. And I believe that we sometimes forget, because we're so sheltered. You know, we live in homes, we're protected by the weather, how powerful nature can be. So I just wanted to share this with you. It's a moment now after the storm. I almost feel like I have to whisper. I can see other people, neighbors out with flashlights, scoping out what damage has been done. Obviously there's trees in my yard, so maybe I'll get some footage of that, but I doubt it will turn out with without any lighting. So at any rate, just wanted to share my story, and it's fascinating when you work on your own family history, the things that you learn and can validate by actual records. So at any rate, I guess I'm going to call it a night. There's still no power out here. I mean, there's no power at any of the surrounding homes, and certainly not in my house. So I'm just going to sit out here until my husband gets home. He's actually on his way. So I will talk to you later. Hopefully the sun will be shining. Bye.
Within minutes after filming, I heard chainsaws and thought, who in the world would be cutting anything right now? There's not even any power on. But I walked down the cul-de-sac to the road, and the power company was already out there cutting up a tree that had fallen across the road. They were there for a long time, and a couple of people actually wanted to drive through, but it wasn't going to happen. They were up in their bucket, and power lines were down. Not a pretty sight, and these guys were working so hard. It was about 10:30 at night, so they finally got the job done and got everything back to normal. Now, I told you how bad this storm was, and remember, I was on my front porch. This is some of the aftermath that I recorded the next day. This was the neighbor's tree. It's a huge, tall pine tree, and I'm going to try to zoom in here and show you where limbs, remember that cracking noise that I told you I heard, was actually limbs that were snapping off of these trees and plummeting down to the earth. And the sound they made was just incredible. I could hear things like in slow motion, and then a big, big thump. So it was quite a surprise to wake up to the next day, because the duration of the whole storm was like 15 minutes long, and the destruction that came through was remarkable.